Hey guys, it's Dan from Shasta Bubba Adventures, and I have scored some major new gear this year, and I'm dying to tell you all about it. I'm going to wait until I get more trail time with this gear before doing actual in-depth reviews, but I've got such cool stuff to try out, I couldn't wait to do a quick little show and tell and share some early impressions that I got to this gear. So here we go. First off, thanks to the quick actions of my buddy Eric, I was finally able to get my hands on a Durston Gear X-Mid 2. Now, if you saw my video from last year explaining why I chose the Stratospire 2 for my ultralight tent for 2 people, then you know that what I really wanted even then was the X-Mid, but they just weren't available. As you know, Dan Durston was able to offer a pre-sale earlier this year of a limited number of tents, and I had one in my cart at 30 seconds after 8 o'clock, but wasn't able to check out before they were gone. Luckily, my friend Eric was also trying on my behalf and had quicker fingers, so he scored and was generous enough to pass this one on to me. So thanks, Eric. Now, in my opinion, the X-Mid 2 is the best overall ultralight tent for 2 on the market today. And there are several reasons for that I'll go into more detail in a future video. But in a nutshell, it's just got the best weight to usable space ratio out there. Also, it doesn't have the annoying struts to deal with of the Stratospire, and it's $60 cheaper if you can actually get it. Availability is probably the biggest con at the moment. However, according to the website, that should be kind of sorted out by this fall and hopefully won't be an issue anymore. The next biggest con for me of the X-Mid is that the stakes that come with it are really not very functional. Now, to be fair, that could be said of virtually every tent I've ever bought. And I've almost always dumped the original stakes that came with it and supplied my own. And my preference is these Easton 9-inch nails, which to my knowledge, stakes like this only come stock with shelters from Tarp Tent and Mountain Laurel Designs. I'll have a lot more to say about the X-Mid later in the season. Second on the list is, after years of mediocre nights sleeping on a Thermarest X-Lite, I finally decided it was time to try out a new pad, and I got the Sea to Summit Etherlite XT insulated mattress, and man, am I ever glad I did. Easily the biggest pro of this pad is I'm sleeping just so much better. I'm really amazed at the difference, although it makes sense when you consider that the Etherlite is 4 inches of padding versus just 2.5 for the X-Lite. Another pro is that the Etherlite runs about $20 to $30 cheaper than the same size of X-Lite, and it's carried by REI, so it's a great option to use your annual 20% off coupon for. Now, there are some cons, of course, as you would expect. It's heavier by 6 ounces. It has a slightly lower R value at 3.2 versus 4.2 for the X-Lite, and it does take up more volume in the pack. But personally, the benefit of much improved sleep far outweighs those downsides. Now, the third bit of new gear that I got is actually 3 new gear bags. And the first is this ditty bag from Allman's, right, called the Craft Stuff Sack, which does a great job of sitting upright when I'm digging around in it looking for stuff. And I'm also really coming to appreciate how handy the opening is with these 2 tabs on either side. Second is what I call my gear bag. This is the Ultralight Cube by Ultralight Sacks. Now, things I put in this are basically stuff that's too big for the ditty bag, but too small to just float around loosely in the pack, like an ace bandage and journal pages and a small roll of duct tape. This bag has impressed me with their choice of a really thick and very durable DCF, but the best thing is just how accessible everything is with a lengthwise zipper versus the end opening bag that I was using. I'm really appreciating that aspect. This year I upgraded my camera to the Sony a6600, and that meant having to find a new way to carry the bigger camera, so the third new gear bag is the Camera Pod by HMG. Not only is this bag the best way to carry my camera on my hip belt, it also is the best way to protect it because the pod is padded, so I don't have to worry about banging against a rock when I set my pack down. Even better is that this bag is waterproof and it has a waterproof zipper, so I don't have to worry about hiking in the rain with this super expensive new camera. All I have to do is zip the flap closed and I'm good to keep hiking, rather than having to stop and put the camera into a dry bag inside the pack with every little sprinkle. Now, all three of these bags are available through Garage Grown Gear, so I'll put links to them in the description below. The last new gear on my list is something I don't even have yet, but I've placed an order for the Kawa 40 pack from Durston Gear, and it should be here in just a couple of weeks. As much as I love my HMG Junction pack, I do occasionally experience some shoulder pain with it. Also, the 3400 is rated for 50 liters, which really is too much space for most 2 to 4 day hikes. So I've really been wanting to try a smaller pack, more in the 40 liter range, and see if that would work for me. Enter the Kawa 40. Now, there are a lot of details that I expect will be advantages of the Kawa, including a better hip belt and shoulder straps, bigger hip belt pockets, and it actually has integrated shoulder strap pockets. Also, I've been dying to try out this new material everybody's talking about called Ultra, which is supposed to be a more durable than DCF, and the Kawa 40 is just 28 ounces. Now, the frame is an inverted U-shaped aluminum tubing, which should transfer weight more efficiently to the hips than the vertical stays in the HMG packs. But the real tipping point for me was just the price. At $250, I had to give it a try. The expected cons? Well, the Kawa also has load lifters, so I'm skeptical about those since they've been ineffective on other ultralight packs I've used. But the biggest feature I'm concerned about is actually something that the website is selling as a unique improvement over other packs, and it's this front opening to the left side pocket. This is to allow you to stow larger items that wouldn't fit in the hip belt pockets, like maybe a hat, but that comes at the sacrifice of being able to grab something out of the top opening, I think. Now, for most folks, that probably wouldn't be a problem because you can still access a water bottle from the right side. But as a filmmaker, I've just started using that left side pocket for my tripod so that I can grab it out without having to stop and take the pack off, as I've been doing for years every time there's a shot of me hiking down the trail. So I'll be interested to see how that all works out. But the pros were so overwhelming, I'm really excited to give this new pack a try. It wasn't until I made this list that it occurred to me that with the addition of my Enlightened Equipment quilt, I've actually completely redone my big three this year. That's a big deal, so look for more in-depth reviews of all this gear later in the season when I've had more miles down the trail and experience with it, so I can do a better, more thorough job of evaluating the pros and cons. Hey, what's new in your pack in 2022? If you've got new gear you're excited about, let us know in the comments below so we can all drool about it together. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.